Hey guys, welcome back to Trainer to Collector. Thanks for coming back. Today, kind of got a few different topics I want to talk about. First topic I kind of wanted to start off with was the new released Ascended Heroes bundle that'll be coming to, looks like Sam's Club in September. So it looks like it's going to be an ETB along with the Pokeball. Obviously, I think this could be a really good opportunity to grab some Ascended Heroes if you can, if you have a Sam's Club membership. I know, was it last month or maybe even the month before when the Focus Fighters came out? I think in July. I know there was a lot of videos and a lot of topics going on out there with a lot of fighting, a lot of big lines. You know, people they love Ascended Heroes. Ascended Heroes is a great set. It's from top to bottom. It is absolutely loaded. And I think with more ETBs coming to the market, I think it could be a really good time for the product to probably drop down some. You know, obviously Ascended Heroes has not even been out in a full year yet. This is kind of the first time we've kind of seen, it seems like a pretty good bit of product coming out for it since the release. Obviously, we've had little waves here and there. I got lucky a few times at the very beginning. Was able to get about 5 total ETBs, moved off of them, made some decent money on them, and kept it moving. And right now, I don't have any. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to get a Sam's Club membership for this in particular, especially now knowing how crazy it was with the Focus Fighters and seeing the videos of how long those lines were, if it's really worth doing it in my mind. And I know the Sam's Club drops online can be very unpredictable. So me personally, I think I might hold off for now. I think it might be interesting to kind of see where the market goes with those, if they drop down some. I'd love to get some, if I can, towards the $100 range. Do I think it could possibly get there? Maybe. I don't think anyone expected Destined Rivals to get down towards, I think Destined Rivals is in like the 120 range when it was almost $300 for a regular ETB just a few months ago. So I think it's definitely possible for Ascended, and that's kind of the mark where I'm seeing, like I said, I think $100 would be a really good spot for me to go and pick it up at. And then honestly, if you're going to rip it too, obviously the cheaper the better, so you don't have to spend as much money to be able to enjoy the rip. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now with those. And like I said, I'll be very curious to see how everyone else in the market kind of sees it, over the next month or so when it kind of happens, because this will be dropping around a lot of the hype with the 30th anniversary. Some of the products have already been coming out, and then more will be coming to the market at the same time. Another topic I kind of wanted to talk about today with you guys is BGS Black Labels and kind of the perception around those. So obviously I've never myself had a Black Label. Love to have one. Never had a chance. I've graded it once with Beckett and got a 9.5 on a sport card from a handful of years ago. Obviously, I know the Black Labels hold a really strong premium, but I recently saw the Charizard, Mega Charizard X, the promo from the Charizard UPC that came out. PSA 10s, they were in the 300s. They've dropped in recent months, like I think a lot of other slabs have. The population in the 10 is over 40,000, maybe 50,000. So obviously a lot of them out there. I think it's in like the 180, 190 range now, which, not too crazy. I think the card's like a $30 to $40 card on average if you're buying it raw. And recently it looks like there's been a sale for $10,000 in a Beckett BGS Black Label, which seems crazy to me that there's that much of a multiplier for a Black Label. I understand. As of now, I think there's only about 14 of them out there, so obviously there's very, very rare to get. But that's the whole thing about Black Labels is they're very difficult to get. And it looked like in past months they're even higher. It looked like there was some sales that were over 14,000. So obviously, like I said, I know the Black Label really carries a big premium, but in my mind, does it really carry that big of a premium to go from a $200 and a PSA 10? I believe Beckett 10 was in like the $500 range, and then over 10,000. That just seems just crazy to me. And I know, obviously, Black Labels seemed like of all sorts of cards lately have just been going for crazy prices. Like I said, I know people really love the low pop, and that's great. Like I said, Black Labels, I think they look absolutely sweet. I really enjoy Beckett slabs. It just seems like that's such a crazy multiplier, and I'll be very curious to see if there ever is some sort of, I don't want to say quote-unquote dip or, maybe a little bit of a market reset if slabs go down even more at different times are those Black Labels going to hold that premium? Is that realistically probably more of like a $2,000 to $3,000 card, or is the market dictated that it is more of a $10,000 card? Maybe I'm crazy. But me personally, I wouldn't deal with that. That's a little bit out of my price range, and I don't know if I'm gonna spend 10 grand. I'd probably want to invest it in some other areas. Like I said, a cool card to have in a Beckett Black Label, but probably not something I would do personally to invest in. But like I said, that was kind of another topic I saw. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about Black Labels. Like I said, I love them. I really think they're cool. I've only ever seen a handful before. But like I said, that big of a premium from a PSA 10 to a Black Label just seems crazy to me. And then the other thing I kind of want to talk to you about today, guys, was picked up some recent pickups at one of my local card shows recently. And I'll show you right here. I was able to pick up 2 Typhlosion cards. 2 of these pretty clean looking cards, not in the best condition, not really the cleanest in the world. They're both damaged, but I was able to get them at a good price. I've decided to maybe do a little bit more collecting and not so much flipping and kind of keeping sealed stuff, and I wanted to do a little bit more with picking up a certain Pokemon, and I think there's 3 that I've kind of circled that I want to really focus on to be able to collect more within, or maybe get all the English of them. Typhlosion, Blaziken, and Scizor. So like I said, I was able to get a few more Typhlosion. Typhlosion, my favorite starter from my favorite final evolution from Gen 2. Recently got to go back and play Soul Silver and beat it on the 3DS, and Typhlosion was my starter. So obviously got to stick with him, and those are 2 of the cooler cards of his that are out there. So, and then another one I recently picked up was this Full Art Sceptile. I've been chasing after this one for quite a while. Seen it graded before at a show, but I've never seen it raw. I'm also looking for the Blaziken. The Blaziken's out there as well. But the Sceptile, I think it's a really affordable card. It's only $20. I love those full arts from back in the Sun and Moon era. I think they're really undervalued. A lot of them are. And like I said, I just thought it was a really cool card and found it. And like I said, unfortunately, when I was at the show, my signal wasn't the best, but I knew it was in the $20 ballpark range. And I was like, I'm going to get it. It's a sick card. I love it. I enjoy it. It's going to go straight to the PC. And it's one of my favorite, my favorite generations, Gen 3. So like I said, I just think it was a good buy for me just to kind of keep in the PC. So let me know what you guys are picking up too right now. I know the market's kind of all over the place, but I think this is a really good time to pick up singles, even just for your collection or if you plan on flipping them down the road. Like I said, just figured I'd give you guys some thoughts on 3 topics I've kind of seen over the last few days and kind of wanted to share my thoughts about it. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments if there's anything you guys are seeing out there too. As always, feel free to like, subscribe, and like I said, leave me a comment. All right, thanks for watching.